Alrighty, so we have Matt Schnell versus Rogerio Bontorin. So Matt Schnell has the height advantage and the reach advantage, both 3 inches. I think the Tapology measurements are wrong. It's what it is. What it is. He's had 8 fights in the UFC, and 5 of them have ended in the first round. And recently he's on a bit of a run. He's 5-1 in his last 6 fights, so he's done pretty well for himself. And for Rogerio Bontorin, he's on the opposite end of the momentum spectrum. So he's had 2 losses in a row, and they're quite embarrassing losses in different ways. So like in the Ray Borg fight, he just got dominated. He just got manhandled pretty much. In the Kai Kara France fight, he got face planted. And the ending was kind of weird as well because of Herb Dean and whatever that guy's thinking at the time. But yeah. So yeah, we'll get into the striking of these two. So for Matt Schnell, he has very fast hands. He's got fast boxing combinations. I didn't really give him the respect he deserves probably with his hands until the Tyson Nam fight, and now I can really see that this guy does have decent hands, but you know, there are a few holes there, but we'll get into that in a sec. For Rogerio Bontorin, he has serviceable stand-up, but he is a little bit wild and he can just come charging forward with combinations. He's very open as well. Matt Schnell's favourite combinations are the 1-2 and the 3-2 in the pocket. And for Rogerio Bontorin, he drops his lead hand in the pocket quite often. And he goes for that check left hook, which I've never actually seen him land on somebody, but he's always throwing it, and he constantly eats right hands because of it. And yeah, Matt Schnell, he has a decent right hand. A lot of his combinations end with that right straight, so he's got to watch out for that. And Rogerio, like, he's pretty predictable with his movement. Like, he's basically, when he charges forward, he can get caught on the entry, you know? And for Matt Schnell, he does a lot of things that concern me as well. So as I said before, he's mostly a boxer. He likes to throw boxing combinations, and he gets in a lot of exchanges that way. And once he throws his combination, he won't exit the pocket. He'll just hang out in the pocket for too long, and that's where he gets caught a lot of the time. And after he pops the jab out, or after he throws the left hook, his lead hand drops after throwing it, and that's why he gets caught by so many right overhands. Also, the fact that his head doesn't move at all really hurts him, and that's how he gets hit so often. But we'll break down the grappling side of this fight, where it gets really interesting as well. So Rogerio Bontorin, he's more of a proactive wrestler than Matt Schnell, so he'll look for the body lock and then look for mat returns from there, or just control, look to trip you from the back. Once he does get in the clinch, if it's just the over-under situation, he's got a nice inside leg trip from the clinch, and once he does get on top of you, he's legit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's very good on top. He's opportunistic with the back take. As soon as you give your back, he's going to take it. And if you get on top of him, his guard is very hard to pass. He's also quite dangerous off his back. But he can be a little too comfortable there and hang out on his back for too long. But that's something these two guys probably share. They like working off their back. For Matt Schnell, to defend takedowns, generally he will attack a submission like a guillotine when his opponent shoots a double leg, or, look for a triangle in a scramble, or he'll just look for a triangle in his guard off his back. But he pulls guard, pulls guillotine a lot. He has an aggressive guard, but it can leave him open for ground and pound. Like, he's always trying to lock something up. His hands are always looking to control the wrists of the opponent. And if they come over with an elbow, or if they come over with a hard punch, he's just there to be hit and he just takes it. But yeah, it is what it is, and we'll break down how these guys win fights. So how these guys win fights is that Rogerio, he's very strong for the weight class, and he has good takedown defense of his own. I just think Ray Borg's that good, but generally he is very good, and he's very strong when defending takedowns. And for Matt Schnell, he has fast hands. He's also very dangerous and very active off his back. How these guys lose fights, so for Matt Schnell, it's the strike and defense. And also his chin is just absolute glass. I don't know how he took the bombs from Nam that Nam was throwing at him. But if you watch his previous knockout losses, they're not inspiring. They don't fulfill you with a lot of confidence in his chin. Like, especially that Hector Sandoval fight. Like, it was like some baby hammer fist, like 3 baby hammer fists, and he got put out. I think it may have been because of the slam, and Hector really damaged him with the slam, but it just wasn't a good look, Just if you have time, watch that fight. It's the weirdest knockout you'll ever see. For Rogerio Bontorin, it's the striking tendencies that we discussed before. Also, his chin's a little bit suspect as well. I still have a little bit more faith in his chin than Schnell's, but still, I'm keeping a close eye on it. Pass to victory for these two. Alright, so for both of them, look to throw leg kicks. Both have had issues defending leg kicks before, and Matt Schnell particularly is very heavy on the lead leg, so I think you can really target that. I thought that was going to be a huge path to victory for Alex Perez when that fight was scheduled. But yeah, for Rogerio Bontorin, I get that he doesn't generally throw them, but look to mix it in here. And for Matt Schnell, on the feet, look to pump the jab out, 1-2s, keep looking for the straight right, because as I said before, he loves eating them. And once you get taken down, look to get back to your feet. Don't look to hang out there very long, because he will look to pass and put you in compromised positions. And for Rogerio Bontorin, look to stack and sweep when he's throwing up his triangles and his arm bars. And then once you do get in dominant position, or even in his guard, look to really punish him with ground and pound. Look to get to work immediately as soon as you take him down, because he can be a little too comfortable off his back. And as I said before, he is open for ground and pound. So how I see the fight playing out, I think this is going to be a really crazy fight. I don't think it goes the distance. I was going to go big on Perez against Schnell. I thought the leg kicks, the power was going to be very problematic for Schnell. Also the ground and pound once he gets on top. But this matchup is also very intriguing. I think Schnell should take it on the feet, but I don't think he'll stay on the feet for very long. I think Bontorin will be able to take him down pretty much whenever he wants. Matt Schnell doesn't even defend takedowns, really. He looks for submissions that will leave him on his back if he can't finish them. And if he doesn't get them, he's got Bontorin on top. Will Bontorin be able to control him, finish him down there? Because Matt Schnell does have a very aggressive guard, but overall I do believe he'll be able to control Matt Schnell down there and just weather the storm. I think he'll take advantage of the overly offensive guard of Schnell and punish him with ground and pound, guard passes, maybe even getting his own submission. I don't think Schnell's going to be able to catch Bontorin with one of his triangles or arm bars off bottom. But for Matt, I think his path to victory, I think he should look to keep it on the feet and look to keep distance with the jab, and not get sucked into a brawl with Bontorin. But I can just absolutely see him doing that, and Bontorin is very wild. He's probably going to suck Matt into a brawl. And when in the tie-ups, I don't think Matt should pull guard. And I really shouldn't have to say that, but the guy pulled guard on Pantoja, so I have my doubts that he's going to stay away from those things, like the brawl and then pulling guard. So I just don't think he's going to do what he probably should to win this fight. And yeah, I think this fight's going to be crazy. Both these guys are willing to go out in their shield, which I fucking love as a fan, but as a tipper and as a bettor, you have to be concerned about that tendency of both these guys, especially when they both haven't shown the best chin. So overall, I can't see this going the distance, but I am going to pick Bontorin by finish. I think he either clips him on the feet with some wild shots or what have you, or he just pummels him on the ground and finds a submission, or just finds a ground and pound finish. So yeah, that's what I think, and we'll have a look at the betting lines. So yeah, if you had to nail me down to one prediction, it would probably be Bontorin by submission, and I'll go round 2. No, I'll go round 1. And I do think he wins this fight around 55 to 60% of the time, so anything above $1.80 or minus 125 for Bontorin, I think is value on him, honestly. And right now, he's a pretty sizable, he's a moderate underdog, so I think that's a good play there. And that's definitely one I'll be looking at. Also, props aren't out yet, but if fight goes to decision is $1.80 or minus 125, I'd probably hit that as well. I doubt this one goes the distance.